coming at you live from Boulder's backyard. It's Buffs News Radio Show with your host, Russ. And near is your host, Russ.
What's up, Buffs Nation, and welcome into Buffs News Weekly Live, your Monday show for the week of the Utah game. Coming off a bye week. Hope you all had a good bye week this weekend. Getting to just enjoy some football, getting to just hang out, enjoy both college and NFL. What a wild weekend it is. Absolutely crazy stuff. We are here ready to go. Appreciate you guys already jumping into the chat. It was a wild week in college football, and the firings are not done yet. Yes, we're going to talk about that. Oh, appreciate you, Go Tiger. Hoops, go Buffs. Appreciate you dropping in. Buddy, as always, ahoy. But yes, Eric, we are going to be talking about this, what the effects are going to have on the Buffs for next season and the college landscape, because I think there's a lot of things that people aren't understanding when it comes to these firings, what it's going to mean, why teams are going to have a hard time filling some of these positions if they want to take somebody that's already a known commodity, okay? That is going to be the key that we will talk about, because guess what? As always, already we are hearing Coach Prime's name being thrown around like we always do, and I just don't see it. We're going to talk about that today. Absolutely. North Side, appreciate you dropping by today. Thank you for being a member of the channel. Keith, as always, one of our longtime members of the channel. Any Giants fans in this group? Oh, that was a fun day to be a Bronco fan. Absolutely fun day. Oh, man. Buddy, can we scoop up Jay Norvell? No, that's not happening. We're not touching that guy with a 10-foot pole. Never. Shocked that Mike Norvell didn't get the boost at FSU. They're in a revolt uprising Tallahassee. Eric, here's the thing about Jay Norvell, or Mike Norvell. God, the fact that both of them are on the hot seat / almost fired. The last thing I saw was that he's getting the voice of confidence now, but they're going to evaluate the whole program after the season. That tells me he's going to get fired, but there's no point in firing him right now in the middle of the season. There really isn't. That's why I think it's kind of crazy that like Penn State already fired Franklin and Florida already firing Billy Napier. I get that the fans want that done, but you're technically, saying, okay, the season's over. We're not going anywhere really this year, type of thing. And there's a lot of stuff when it comes to dates and recruiting right now, guys, that is going to be very different this offseason, more different than past off seasons. And I think that a lot of fans of these teams that are firing their coaches don't realize how this is going to affect not only this year, but next year, the first year of whoever becomes a new head coach. So it's another reason why I do believe that unless it is a true massive promotion for a coach, I would not want to be a coach leaving a known commodity to go to another known commodity because of what that means for my very first year as a coach. Okay? A lot of people and a lot of teams, a lot of fans are not looking at how this is going to affect their team. So let's go ahead and jump into it, since that's going to be the hot topic of the first half of our show. The back half, when you guys call in, we're going to talk about previewing Utah. There's some massive news about the Utah game this weekend that is going to affect how the Buffs prepare, and what could the outcome of Saturday's game be for the Buffs against Utah. But first, I did want to start off, obviously, with the big news, which is the college football landscape, the firing of so many different coaches already, what that means, what that looks at, why it's such a crazy thing right now, and why, one, we don't need to worry about Coach Prime going anywhere. So there's that. Yeah, Petey, that is for sure. Recruiting transfer portal is going to be jumping for all of those teams with coaches who are sticking around. Okay. And trust me, there are teams already working the phones on players for all of these teams. Okay. We're in the age of tampering. Okay. There just is. When there's no rule that a player can't, hit up players on other teams, that's going to happen right now. And they're going to play middleman to the coaching staff at your current school. It's going to happen across the country, okay? Colorado won't be the only one. Every team is going to be doing something. It's going to be absolutely jumping. Yeah, FSU called you for donations today. Yeah, they're prepping to get rid of Norvell. They really are. They are prepping to get rid of Norvell. Recruiting needs to be on their A games this time around. You can't make mistakes like we did the last two portals. Gualo agreed. Agreed. We have to hit this portal. We need to hit on some big names. I've said it every single episode. With the foundation that the Buffs have right now, they are going to be in a position that they don't need to do like they have in the past where they have had to fill all of these starters positions. No, they'll need depth, yes, but only a handful of starters, which means we should be putting our money into impact starting players at a few positions, filling out the rest with depth, because you're always going to have to do that in the portal every year. Every team is going to have to do that. And also bringing in the high school players that we know we need that are going to fill out long term. Okay. What's the odds CU botches this next hire? It's going to be massively high, and it's not because they're going to botch it. It's because not a lot of people are going to want to go to CSU. Okay. They're not going to be one of the top destinations. I mean, when you see the teams that are available to coach right now, when you've got Penn State, Florida, potentially Florida State, UCLA, okay, you've got these massive programs also looking for their next head coach. CSU is going to be an afterthought, and they're going to get some run-of-the-mill, probably low-end FCS coach with no experience that's, desperate to show that he can have a chance at being a head coach, and that's who CSU is going to get as their coach. LSU with Brian Kelly and Auburn, Hugh Freeze, seats might be on the really hot seat. Just continue. There's going to be so many openings this cycle, guys, which is why, again, the portal and recruiting is going to be hopping here pretty soon. And this is going to be Coach Prime and CU's specialty, especially when it comes to those high schoolers that are now going to be actively open to new recruiting. Okay. They keep recycling these old ass coaches. That's absolutely true. Hugh Strip Club Freeze is fired if he loses to Mizzou this week. Heck yes, he is. Coach Prime's not going to leave Colorado. He has the power control Rick George has afforded him. The SEC, they'd make Prime go nuts. I don't think they'd welcome with open arms, and there's really no reason for him to go at this point, guys. Colorado is a national attention. Okay, now with Coach Prime at the helm. So it doesn't matter. Coach Prime creates the attention. He doesn't need to go to a program that already is that attention in those locations. Like, it's doing fine. That's not the problem. And some people could say, well, it's a money thing. He needs more NIL. Okay. We'll get him a decent chunk of NIL, but those teams are going to have to fork over a heck of a lot of money to get Coach Prime out of Colorado. Okay. The buyout that is going to be required of Coach Prime to get out of Colorado this year in the first year of his extension is probably the biggest reason why it's not happening. Add the fact that obviously those teams are paying massive amounts for their coaches' buyouts. I mean, they're scrambling to get enough money to do this in 1 year. Okay? Penn State's going to be hurting that first year with whoever gets to be that new coach. And so the big thing is looking at those buyouts, looking at what that means. Coach Prime buyout to coach another team. I'm gonna pull it up. Because if I remember right, this first year is pretty darn high. Yeah, it's $12 million if he gets a new coaching gig. $12 million. $10 million next year, $6 million the year after that, $4 million the year after that, and then $3 million in the last year. Okay? So $12 million. I think Matt Rule was like $8 or $10 million. For him. Signetti at the time was like $8 million, and then he got an extension out of all of this and out of his name being put into the mouths of other teams. So he gets something good. But that's going to be I don't think a team's going to play $12 million on top of $50 million for their head coach for firing him, on top of now having to pay all this booster money, on top of having to restart the recruiting cycle, Coach Prime having to deal with the portal and that timing, having to deal with the current, it's really bad right now, guys. This is not going to be easy to be taking an already coaching head coach and move them to your program. It's not. We need some position coaches from these schools. Absolutely. That's what we need to check out north side. We need to see, okay, who are their OCs? Who are their position coaches? Who are now in the open market guys that can come and be good? So it's looking at those teams and saying, okay, did Penn State have a good offense? Did they have a good defense? Or which was the bad part of their team? I mean, Penn State, heck, I would love to have Penn State's tight end coach. Okay, I would love to have a Penn State tight end coach. You know, what are these teams' quarterback coaches? Right now, by the way, Florida has named their quarterback coach to call their plays, not their OC. Their OC is kind of the interim head coach. He's going to be, I guess, like doing some option plays, but their quarterback coach is their play caller now going into this weekend's game with Napier gone. Very interesting stuff happening there. So the question is, does he become their head coach? Does that with the staff, or are they going to be open? And so we should be watching to see, okay, hey, is this quarterback coach any good at calling plays? And could he come in and be a quarterback / OC for Colorado? That's the big question. What's going to happen to these coaches? What's going to happen to James Franklin? What's going to happen to Billy Napier? Now, you know, those could be names that CSU could bring up if they want to rehash that. Might cost a little bit of money, but who knows? JUCO D1, D2, evaluate the talent build outside in, and especially we need to go to the Midwest to shop of this down south high school recruit crap. Gets dudes acclimated, cold elevation. I mean, maybe in the trenches, Gualo. Oklahoma State, Arkansas also looking for coaches. I forgot about that too. Thank you, Lamar. I mean, we can come down the list. Oregon State. Virginia Tech. Yeah, we can keep going. There are a lot of teams looking for coaches right now, and this is going to spell not so great things for some of these programs looking for coaches. Okay, Florida, Penn State will probably be okay when everything's said and done because they're Florida and Penn State. But these teams, the fact that they're looking for a coach in the same cycle, and the fact that CSU is looking for a coach now in this cycle, this is a bad time to be looking for a coach in this cycle. Brian Kelly to Penn State is an interesting one. I still think Rule might be in play. I want to see Nebraska fans really struggle right now with this, because I could absolutely see Matt Rule go to Penn State. His connections to Penn State, he gave a non-answer when asked if he would go to Penn State. Guys, it's kind of crazy. And you have to question, like, who would leave Nebraska if Matt Rule went to Penn State? I know Dylan Raiola is a Nebraska legacy, but is he there because of Matt Rule, or would he stick around if Matt Rule left? It's an interesting thought. They could be in shambles. Yeah, absolutely. Move Hilo to interim DC. Go get the linebacker tight end coach for Penn State, edge coach from Florida, safety. I mean, that's some big, bold moves, Northside. Penn State job's an interesting job. I've never known them to play musical chair with coaches. They always find somebody outside the good old boys club. Yeah, and they stay there for a long time. I mean, James Franklin was there plenty of time to really compete with that school. So it wasn't like some of these other schools that are firing coaches left and right constantly. Florida being one of them. I mean, since Urban Meyer, that is not a place you want to coach. The hot seat is hot the moment you come into Florida. Like, the hot seat is hot. What's with all the coaching moves that look to be happening? Do you see the one-time transfer? Yes, I do. And that is the biggest thing I want to talk about, guys. This one-time transfer portal, which, by the way, is happening before the playoffs, is going to be a big, big issue for new coaches taking over programs. Okay? Because the rules now state, which just changed literally in the last few weeks, that once a coach is fired, the portal does not open. Okay? Let me repeat myself. Once a coach is fired, their portal does not open like it did previously. Instead, the portal only opens for those players outside of a portal period when the new head coach is named. Okay, when the new head coach is named, those kids then have a chance to hit the portal. So that's part of the reason that you're not hearing these like portal stories just yet on players, really, is because the portal's not open for them. The portal won't be open until they name a new head coach. On top of that, since we have a one-time portal and it's during the middle of bowl season / playoffs, if any of the coaches who are going to a playoff or having a chance to play in a bowl want to do that, they may not be taking one of these jobs. If they take one of these jobs, they need to leave their school right away so that they can go and recruit the portal, because they're going to desperately need it at their new schools. So that's where the weigh-in question is going to come. Honestly, it's why when Cignetti's name came up, I said there's no way I see him leaving. And what he did was a masterclass. He used the offers from Penn State to leverage and get a raise yet again at Indiana. Like, Cignetti is putting on a masterclass of being a coach right now. Absolute masterclass of being a coach. Getting the raise, using the leverage, with no intention of ever leaving. Because his team will be in the playoff. His team will be in the playoff, and he would not be able to recruit at Penn State out of the portal. Not to mention, National Signing Day is coming up at the end of November, beginning of December timeframe. So high school is going to be done by the time a coach takes over. So you're not going to be able to bring in many players when it comes to that first year, no matter where you're at. I'm very interested to see how this works. This is the first time this has happened, guys. I mean, it's not the first time in the history of college sports that a new coach has come in and not been able to like fill in the team, but we never had the transfer portal. You know, we didn't have the ability for players to leave once you were named the head coach. So you at least had like the old regime's players for a year, and then you could bring in your guys and see what happens. At least you had a year to maybe get the guys to be comfortable with you. No, these guys are going to book it out once they have a chance, and then the new coach is not really going to have a chance to bring in new players. They're going to get the last little bit remnants of the portal that is left. Guys who have not picked a team just yet. Like, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Okay? If he had input on the program. Cignetti is that guy. Cignetti is absolutely putting on a masterclass of becoming a head coach. Every step of the way. Every step of the way. Cignetti's what I wish Prime was a bit more of. Just surgical. He curses coaches out, especially the DC over there. Does Juju stay for next season or just leave? Money, he's staying. Okay, there is no reason why Juju leaves next year. He is literally the guy. He's been working in the system. He's been training himself up. He is literally knows that he's the guy next year. He's going to be doing that. That's what Coach Prime did with CU. He leveraged his celebrity potentially becoming the head coach for the Cowboys. Well, he got a big raise here. He got a big raise. Not only did he get a big raise, though, he got a raise for his assistant coaches. That's a huge thing. Yeah, Cam, I wasn't ever going to talk about this on the show, but yes, he does have a girlfriend at CU. He is dating a girl at CU. Yeah, Juju's not leaving, guys. Juju is not leaving. We can just put that to rest right now. Stick a butt in it. It's not happening, no matter how many people want to believe that. Who do you think will leave in the portal? There's going to be at least one or two surprises. I mean, you saw what happened every year there's a couple surprises. I mean, the biggest loss to us last year was Colton Hood, okay? As long as nothing on that level occurs, I'm fine. Like, when we lost to Augustov, I didn't like that, but it ended up working out. And, you know, he's not doing as much. When we lost to Kai Hill Green, that sucked really big time. I didn't think that was happening. The problem with that one was we all thought Nakai Hill Green was gone because he didn't have any eligibility left. We thought he was going to the NFL. And then out of nowhere, he enters the transfer portal and instead goes to Bama. And while he's playing at Bama, he is not having nearly the impact that he did at Colorado, or he would be having at Colorado had he stayed. So the question is the grass always greener? No. These guys need to start learning it from their teammates who are leaving and going elsewhere. Unless you're a fringe guy that is not playing at Colorado and needs to go to a lower level to ball out, that's different. A lot of people will bring up Assad Wasim. Assad Wasim is at FIU balling out. But that's FIU, guys, okay? If he gets a chance to now transfer to a bigger school, good for him, great, but he also had to use a year of eligibility to figure that out and do that. A lot of guys who are fringe players, that's what they're going to be. I mean, a guy like Ronald Coleman is probably going to hit the portal, if I'm being honest. I mean, the way they've been featuring him in all of the videos and talking about it during the scrimmage and how he balled out, my guess is a lot of that was to help him get to another place where he can play and ball out. He probably is not going power 4. Probably, maybe not even G5. Who knows? But I could see him go to an FIU type school, ball out, look really good for himself, and help him improve his stock since he's not getting playing time in actual games. Indiana had to do what they did with Cignetti. Not many coaches are lining up to go to Bloomington. Also had signal to recruits, boosters, money, people that Cignetti is our guy. Absolutely, Eric. But it helps continue on what Indiana is doing. Like, that is why guys like Cignetti and guys like Prime, it doesn't make sense for them to leave their spots for these other programs when they're getting the type of exposure that they've been getting. They've built a legacy already that they are starting to play into and can only continue to grow in. There's really no negatives now because prior to the NIL era, when players were, publicly getting paid, the big reason that those coaches left was because of the name recognition of those other programs that allowed them to get high school recruits and maybe pay under the table. Who knows with their boosters? But my point is that now with NIL, that is a little bit of a playing field that's a little bit even. Okay. So you can build that up at specific programs and be able to be a part of that conversation. Coach Prime has done that at CU. Now Signetti has done that at Indiana. Like Indiana is now being talked about because they're a top 5 team in the country, and he has been able to do that every step of the way. So he has now put himself in that position. Why would you do all of that work to do that and then immediately jump ship for another team? Like, unless it's like your dream job and you're an alma mater person and it is the one job that you've been gunning for your whole life, but you haven't had it as an option, that's the only reason I see some of these big coaches, which again is why I think that Matt Rule's name being brought up in the Penn State conversation makes sense, because that's literally his school. So the only one that would have, and that would have been a couple years ago, would have been Florida State for Coach Prime. But Florida State and Prime have not been on good terms because Florida State would not even give Coach Prime the time of day when they were hiring last time around. And I think that Coach Prime is the type of guy, and you guys know this from his career, if you have, gotten on Coach Prime's bad side, to get off of Coach Prime's bad side, you're going to have to do something pretty special, i.e. the Nike deal. I think that one was forced because Nike was already contracted with CU, so Coach Prime didn't have a choice. But he does have a choice of where he coaches. And for him to reward Florida State after what they did to him and how he feels about them and how he talks about them. I mean, when he gets asked a question, are you an alumni of Florida State? And he says, no, I'm an alumni of HBCU. Like, that's telling. I'm sorry, but that bridge got burned. Whereas Matt Rule didn't have anything like that with Penn State. So I absolutely could see that happen with Matt Rule. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Absolutely. Many players left CU and are doing well. Yes, Anthony Hankerson. But here's the thing, Lamar. How's Oregon State doing as a program, though? Okay, Colton Hood, yes. Cormani McLean, I don't count that one because it took him 3 years to figure his stuff out. Okay, and he had the skill to do it. We knew he could eventually do it if he could figure himself out. Okay, and Trevor Woods is at a much lower, again, FIU. He's on that lower program at Jackson State? Yeah, like. Again, that shows me that that's where Trevor Woods needed to be playing, at that level. Florida's a shit show now. Hermione went to a shit show. Yes. Deion Sanders ain't getting no D1 head coaching offers. He can't even call timeouts correctly. Well, there you go after the game. There's plenty of people online that are completely ignoring all of the stuff that you say on a daily basis and wanting Coach Prime as their coach. So obviously Coach Prime's doing something right. Went to the Indiana-Michigan State game this weekend. Bloomington is buzzing. Oh, I'm sure it is. I mean, and we know that it can support college sports because look at their basketball program. It's not like Indiana never had a successful sports program at that school. So the fans are there. And now those basketball fans are pushing into football because of how good that is. So they've got the built-in fandom there at Indiana. Cam Michael's leaving. I see what Prime is doing today. I could see him leaving. I could also see him be somebody who decides to stay, seeing the writing on the wall that there's going to be some opportunity in the future, but who knows? It's not a guarantee. Dude doing better than GJ, who is. Gualo was, okay? He was projected before the season, before his play, based on his prior play. His play has obviously bounced backwards, so that's not the case anymore. That happens all the time. Nebraska sucked this weekend. Yeah, I'd be interested to see where he ends up if he stays at Florida with all this, but I bet he stays. I bet he stays. what D1 school is offering Dion a job? Well, if money weren't an option, you said D1. I would have understood this statement if you said SEC or Big Ten school. But I'm sure CSU would take Coach Prime if they could right now. There you go. I'm sure there's several schools like that would take Coach Prime. Yeah, I mean, you could see that too. Yeah, Jacksonville State. Okay, not Jackson State. Jacksonville State. Thank you, Don Juan. I knew it was that. That's the big key is what's happening behind closed doors. If Cormani does hit the portal, I'd love him back at CU. I just don't know if he'd come back. I don't know what, buddy. No, we didn't mess up on Cormani. Okay, guys, this is what we talk about every time this gets brought up. Okay, Cormani was not ready to be at Colorado. He was not ready to take on college sports. He needed to go home and figure his stuff out. Had he stayed here, had we kept him here, I guarantee you that he probably wouldn't have turned out good. Okay? He wasn't going to class, guys. He wasn't going to class. Like, do you guys understand that? He wasn't going to class. He was interrupting things. He was doing stuff he shouldn't have. And he was interviewed and said as much. He knows that his first year of college, he did not know what he was doing, and he was not following the rules. So, just so you know, Cormani should not be brought up as a mistake by the Buffs. Okay? Northside, this is absolutely true. This is absolutely true. Yes, correct, Brady. He wasn't watching film. He just wasn't doing anything. You can't let those guys stay on your team. As somebody who has coached sports, if you have a troublemaker ruining the rest of the team, you cannot keep them on the team no matter how good they are. You just can't. Florida brought him on as a walk-on, giving him one last chance to prove his worth, and he finally figured it out. Good for Cormani. Good for him. Honestly. But don't say that was on CU. Don't say that was on CU. Follow CSU, UNC, and Boulder. Right. Well, yeah, Northern Colorado is balling. Yeah, he's probably going to stay in Florida. But it depends. I mean, Rev, the only thing that could stop him, though, is if he gets a coach that just doesn't like him. I mean, depends on what kind of coach Florida gets. I mean, if they get some kind of hard-ass coach that maybe doesn't mesh with who Cormani is as a player and other people as a player, like that can always happen, guys. That does happen. There are coaches out there that are just those kind of guys that they like a specific type of guy, and you may not be it. So he may not have a choice of going back either. I'm just throwing that out there as a kind of a devil's advocate. I've been seeing on Twitter a lot of Florida fans, talking about, because DJ Lagway already came out and said he's staying, blah, blah, blah. And in my head, I was like, well, yeah, he's saying he's staying. But what if the next coaching staff doesn't like him as a quarterback? What if they think that they have somebody else they can bring in? What if they believe in a different system that doesn't work to DJ Lagway's style? I'm just throwing that out there. Like, there's no guarantees when a coaching staff changes. Like, that's the scary part as a player, is when the coach, that's why a lot of them will end up hitting the portal, is because rather than risk going with a new coaching staff and having to learn a new system and get to know a new style you're not choosing the coach. The school is choosing the coach. And then the coach has to choose you, and you have to choose the coach. There's so many variables in that, guys, when new coaches come in, that is why sometimes it's just easier as a player to say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to go start off new, and I'm going to get a chance to choose what works best for me, rather than force myself into a position that may not be best for me, and I may not find this out until it's too late. I only have 4 to 5 years to play in college football. I can't waste a year with a new staff that maybe it doesn't work out with. Does that make sense, guys? I mean, I hope you understand that and what that looks like. Okay. Penn State lost a lot after Franklin got fired. I think Penn State firing Franklin, I don't know if that was the right move there. I don't think that was the right move. Yeah, it's something people have got to realize that, guys. There's no guarantees when coaching changes. Like, that's why I always say you may not want coaching changes as bad as you want, okay? Unless the coach is completely incompetent and ruining things, you may not want that coaching change as bad as you think. Because once you do get that coaching change done, it could be really bad. Just saying. Just saying. Okay. To me, it just seemed, I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna, unless they have somebody that they think is truly better than Franklin, which I just don't see right now, unless you're literally calling up Signetti or, Nick Saban's coming out of retirement. Like, I don't know how much better you can get at the coaching position there. That's just my thing when it comes to that. Funny how the CSU clowns who talked about CU, one is looking for a new job and the quarterback is a bench warmer. And that all occurred after they all talked that smack against CU last year. Like, everything has been downhill since that interview with Nicolosi and them talking smack about CU and then getting smacked in the face. Okay? Getting smacked in the face. We can all say what ifs. Again, who knows? Maybe though with Coach McCartney, he also would have been like, no, I wouldn't take Cormani in the first place because he's a knucklehead, or he's immature, or he's not this, or he's not that. He may not have even taken him in the first place. Just saying. I think Coach Prime thought to himself that he could get Cormani, on the straight and narrow and bring him in. It took making Cormani a walk-on, and that was never happening when he was a freshman. Okay. It took Cormani getting that close to his football career being over for him to finally take things seriously, guys. That is not on coaching staffs. Like, that's just where it's at. Penn State thinks they're Ohio State. They're much closer to Iowa or Minnesota. I mean, they might be. I mean, they've been living in the past for quite a while. You could probably say that. I mean, because they're not what they used to be. They're not what they used to be. So, could see that. In 3 seasons, I've never seen Dion ever break down an offense or defensive scheme on his team or an opponent. I have. After the game, my question for you. So, are you sitting in the meetings? Are you at the facility? Are you on the team? Because last time I checked, that's not something that teams videotape. And we got a pretty good example of Coach Prime coaching quite well on the sideline against Iowa State in a couple clips for the first time that we've seen those type of clips. And I think that was to prove a point to people like you and what you're saying. BFM is not a good quarterback. You pissed me off that the team offered him $2 million to enter the portal. Hey, let teams waste their money when it comes to that. They can have Brian Kelly because he's not a good fit for LSU or the SEC. Well, maybe that's it. Maybe he'd do better at Penn State. Watch Travis Hunter pick him off. Was God's work. That was a good thing. Colorado's won a national title more recently than Penn State. I didn't think about that, Brady. And here I thought that they maybe won a national title in the late stages of Joe Pa, but I guess not. Yeah, I mean, you're assuming. Like, you're assuming that he does not know these things. Like, where do they break down on X's and O's? What? So you want Coach Prime to go on and prove his X's and O's skill for you? Like, why does he need to do that? Again, I don't get why any of that matters. Oh, dang, yeah. See, I didn't realize it was 1986. See, I don't pay attention to that. They were going off of name recognition only for the longest time. Love Travis Hunter this weekend. And Oregon has 0 natties. Coach Prime can coach if he can turn a program around that quickly. I would agree with that, Echo, but a lot of people aren't gonna talk about that. Okay, guys, real quick, let's have our ad break before we get to CU Utah preview. We got some CU Utah news that we need to talk about. But of course, let's talk about our sponsors over at Taco Bell. That's right. I am wearing the Taco Bell Julian Lewis t-shirt. This is what it looks like. You guys want to get yourself one of these shirts. Several people in the chat have one of these shirts because they've won one of these shirts during our live streams. So you guys want to get in, be the fan take of the week upcoming here in the second half of the show. But until then, hey, make sure that you guys go out to your local Colorado Taco Bells and get your Buffs box and your collector cups. Guys, the Buffs box, $7, gets you 4 amazing Taco Bell items. Absolutely awesome thing. I've been getting messages from people who have been coming to Buffs games. They've gone out to Taco Bell before the game, got their Buffs box, absolutely loved it, enjoyed the value for what they got, which is a huge thing right now in this economy, in this day and age. You need a $7 fill me up box for a meal. That's a pretty darn good steal. But on top of that, they also have, for those of you who are like, oh, Taco Bell's not healthy, Taco Bell's not food, you might want to try the Chicken Cantina menu. The Chicken Cantina menu is a very, very good value for what it is, guys. I absolutely love the Chicken Cantina tacos. Okay, shredded chicken, melted cheese on the outside. Absolutely awesome thing that I highly recommend. The quesadilla, same thing. Okay, fresh ingredients. You got your cabbage. You've got the slow roasted chicken with all of the spices. So make sure you guys go out. If you're not in Colorado, you can get your Chicken Cantina menu items anywhere. If you're in Colorado, you can get your Buff Box with it. And overall, it's awesome because Taco Bell is supporting CU Athletics by donating $1,000 per touchdown to the Golden Buff Scholarship Fund. Again, we are doing great this season when it comes to those touchdowns. I mean, we're averaging 21 points, 3 touchdowns a game. Okay. That's getting a lot of money to that scholarship fund. So we appreciate Taco Bell for doing that. Buffs love the bell. Sco Buffs and Live Moss. We appreciate Taco Bell for being a partner and for donating shirts to give away to our fan pick of the week. So make sure that you guys stay tuned for the Taco Bell hotline and call in. Give your opinions, guys. This is your chance to talk and tell me what you think about the Buffs and what's going on right now. Heck, if you want to talk about the coaching carousels and what you think is happening there, I'm happy to talk about that as well. But we are going to get into our Utah previews right now, guys. Utah previews. So, the big news, of course, and it was already thrown in the chat by Cam a little bit earlier. It's looking like Devin Dampier, their quarterback, is not going to play, and they are going to start their freshman quarterback, who I believe played a little bit in the Utah BYU game due to Dampier running into some nagging injury issues. Now, my question for everybody here, I want to know your guys' opinions, okay, on this. Do you guys think that Dampier not playing is a benefit or a negative to Colorado? Because BYU proved how to beat Dampier. You truly had to force him into passing situations. The BU interview with the player on the field after the game, talking about how they just made it so easy and just putting him into, second and long, third and long, passing downs that he was required to pass it, that Utah's passing scheme was just so basic and so poor that it made it easy on their defense when they needed to stop the pass. That is, I think, the game plan to beat Utah. But the question is that better and easier to do against Dampier? Or are they going to bring in the freshman and do the exact same thing or play to his strengths? And the question is his strengths going to be passing? We don't know. So could that be the advantage given to Utah? That now they're going to have a quarterback that we're not really ready for, that we don't really know what to game plan for. They could run a slightly different offense than what Dampier was running and run a better passing game overall. Who knows? That is my question to you guys. Okay? That is my question to you guys. Now, Brady thinks it's a benefit because running quarterbacks have torn us apart the last 2 seasons. Correct. We can't seem to stop them, even when we know they're coming. So there is that side to it of, if we get a guy that's not as good as Dampier running the ball, then maybe we have a better chance of winning the game against Utah. Okay? I would agree with that. Utah has not impressed me. Guys, and right now, the line on this Utah game is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Last time I checked, I believe it was 14 points. Yeah, 14 and a half. Okay, looks like 13 and a half. 6 hours ago, 14 and a half. Guys, 14 and a half spread. Like, they're saying, well, and yeah, okay, so the freshman's a runner, but is he as good of a runner as Dampier? I mean, Dampier is a darn good running quarterback. Okay, freshman might run into some issues. Okay, freshman might run into some issues getting his first start. Yes, it is a night game. It is a night game. I believe it is a late game as well. I believe it's a late start. Yes. Nope. Come on. Yeah, 8:15, guys. It's late at night. I think Utah's backup quarterback strength is throwing the ball, but I think he can run as well. Okay. The freshman's runner, well, just hope they can contain him. I'll take freaking, yeah, see, this is the other part, though, Brady. I'll take facing a freshman making his first start, regardless of skill set, anytime. And that is where, okay, maybe it is a benefit. Maybe it is a benefit. We better clamp the freshman. Livingston needs to throw mixed coverages, quarterback spies. Yeah, can we get creative on defense? Can we get creative in our blitz packages? Can we get creative in our coverages? Can we disguise things and really make this freshman quarterback have to think on the fly rather than be able to read the defense and hear from his coaches all week? Okay, this is what you're going to do in this. No, let's throw some wrenches in there. Let's throw some wrenches in there. Yes, I appreciate Lexus. Yes, so 10:15 Eastern, 8:15 local time. Colorado money has been coming in. They don't think Utah's covering that spread. I don't think Utah's covering that spread. When I saw the initial package, yeah, so it's 14.5. It was 16, and I think yesterday when I first looked, it's dropping drastically. And I think that's because a lot of people don't believe in the freshman quarterback. I think a lot of people believe that Utah's not as good as people think they are, but they still think Utah's going to win. But I just don't see a 14.5 point, spread there. Jamel, appreciate you dropping by today. New York, as always, in the house. Texas Tech and BYU made Utah pass the ball. That's how you beat Utah. Yes, Demistocles, but the question is with Dampier as a starter, is the freshman going to be the same case? No, it's not. It's not 6:15 local, Lexus. It is 8:15 Mountain. Yeah. Well, we can't blitz, Russ, because the team can't cover or keep the edge, stay in the run gaps. I will say, hey, Northside, there was one game this season that we did blitz, and it actually worked out pretty decently at times. And I believe, was that the BYU game? Or was that one of the games? If I forget, like, we blitzed a decent amount on their quarterback, and it worked at times and helped us get off the field several times. So we can do it. Oh boy, 10:15, another really late night. Yep, it's going to be a late night, guys. It's going to be a very, very late night. This is the thing right here, D-Nice. I appreciate you for being a member, as always. We need our secondary to play lights out. Otherwise, we'll get carved up with timely passes like BYU did to us. Yeah, the question is, though, is this freshman quarterback as good as Bachmeier throwing the ball? I mean, Bachmeier was able to answer the call of making plays when he had to. It'll be very interesting. Coach Prime is 4-3 after the bye and 5-9 in games after 7:30 p.m. Start time, Lamar. I love the stats. I don't see Colorado's defense stopping Utah's run game. That's going to be the thing, Kevin. That's going to be the thing. That's the only way we're winning. That is the only way we are winning. So there is that. Oh boy, 10:15 Eastern. Yep. Put Barnes, Amari. We should be straight. I like that interior a lot better. Guys. I really do. Hey, Taco Bell hotline's open. Feel free to call in with your guys' takes. Hey, don't be a stranger. Don't be nervous. Okay, call in. Do the best you can. Hopefully, you got some good phone service. We've had some couple bad calls the last couple weeks with phone service. Get on that Wi-Fi calling, guys. Set up your phones for Wi-Fi calling and do it. But here we go. Statesman, I think he came in and they immediately ran quarterback power. So I don't know if he's a passer. Well, the question is then, too, if he's similar to Dampier, is he as good as Dampier? I don't think so. So maybe that's a little bit of a benefit, is if we can just stop the run, if we can force that, that can still help. At least Dampier, a little bit better of a player overall. Dion demoted Sean Lewis, and now he's cooking over at San Diego State. That's San Diego State after the game. Like, some of the takes you have are kind of a little bit crazy, okay? Kind of a little bit crazy. You're calling the Mountain West now, what, the SEC, like the Big Ten, like they're all of a sudden doing this unbelievable stuff? Like, yeah, they're doing well in the Mountain West. They've beat Nevada, Colorado State, which, as we know, is a dumpster fire, Cal, Northern Illinois. Like, just saying. They got creamed by Washington State. They lost to Air Force last year. That's last year. This year. Okay, this year. So they beat Stony Brook, lost to Washington State, beat Cal, beat Northern Illinois, by the way. You know what the score was for a coach that's cooking after the game? San Diego State 6, Northern Illinois 3. That's an offensive cook. Guys, after the game, believes that a 6-3 is an offensive masterclass. Got it. Amari and JB has been playing well the last 2 or 3 weeks. I would agree with that. Quarterback's 9 for 9 passing so far. Not that bad. Yeah. I'll have to watch a little bit more as we head into the preview on Wednesday with David just to see where we're at. Coach Prime 6-6 all time, 7-5 against the spread. When there's less than 20% humidity and temperature. Oh my gosh, there we go, Brady. I love these stats. Here we go. Comparing CU to San Diego State is hilarious. Yeah, absolutely hilarious. Like he was also cooking at Kent State before he came to Colorado. So like, what does that say about who Sean Lewis is? Like, there's just a specific place that he should be coaching at. That's where it's at. Yeah, wasn't a good fit for CU or Coach Prime. Him going to San Diego State was good. I'm from California. I appreciate it, Rev. See, you're getting it. After the game, you guys. I like CU's chance against the backups better than the starter. I would agree with that overall. I think it is going to be a good message. Had Dampier looked, absolutely horrendous at both, maybe, but I think it's going to be okay. I think it's okay to be okay. Oh, guys, listen to this news. Guys, I got some breaking news on the show right now that we need to be paying attention to right now, and this absolutely has to do with Colorado. Breaking news, 2027 4-star athlete from Alabama, Alexander Ward, has officially decommitted from Alabama. This is the brother of CU commit, Christian Ward. The player I said that we need to watch has officially decommitted from Alabama. Mic drop right there. Mic drop right there, guys. He has officially decommitted from Alabama. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. Don't do this. Don't do this. Okay. It's not that. Good. My chat has frozen, just so you guys know. There we go. Okay. Don't know why it wasn't working. Thank God it came back. Yeah, guys, Alexander Ward is officially out at Bama. If he's looking at reclassifying to go with his brother, the two of them would be the crown jewels of our recruiting class. Guys, I get it. If we win out, he'll commit with his brother. I don't even know if we'll win out, guys, if that's what he's looking for. I truly do think that he would love to come play with his brother. I think he would love to come play at CU. He could potentially eventually go 2 ways if he wanted to, and he could come play with Juju, which, by the way, that was the big thing, was Ward connection with Julian Lewis. There is a connection there, if I remember correctly. And so that is absolutely massive news. Massive news, guys. You get really excited, but weren't you the one that said don't get too excited about players that decommit too early? Yes, Lexus, which is why he hasn't committed to Colorado. It'd be different if he flipped right now to Colorado. I'm saying the fact that he has now decommitted from Bama and opened up his recruiting and could potentially be reclassifying to the 2026 class, that means that he's committing fully in the next 2-3 months. This is a good timeline. This is what you want. Does his brother play defense? Alex Ward, let me take a look. I'll tell you a little bit about Alex Ward now, guys. Okay. By the way, IMG as well. Currently a 4-star, 90 overall, the 14th athlete. Let's see what we're reading up on him. So in 2024, before he went to IMG, he was in Georgia. Okay, that's why. He is in Georgia. He is a Georgia kid originally. Caught 9 passes for 152 yards and 2 touchdowns on offense, but also recorded 18 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, a sack, a pass breakup, and 2 interceptions, including a pick 6. So he goes both ways. He plays receiver and he plays defensive back. He has been committed to Alabama since November of 2024. So a year of being committed to Bama, and he has decommitted. with his brother, who is committed to Colorado and will be committing here shortly. So again, going back to Lexus, what you're talking about with early, I'm talking about like a year early. Okay, I'm talking about a year early. That is not what is happening right now. Okay, that is not what's happening right now. Okay. Major breaking war news. That's right, ladies. See, this is huge. This is huge, guys. It's not early, though. We're midway through the season. If Bama gets bumped in the playoffs in the first round and missed the playoffs altogether, that coach may not be there. That's absolutely crazy. Personal theory. I think Coach Prime is speeding up the timeline on Juju's development as a leader because he learned from his experience with K-Salt and wants Juju to start the 26th season hot. Yeah, he's an athlete, plays both ways. A lot of safety at IMG. Ooh. See, Lexus, he's a 2027 right now. But like somebody else brought up, there are rumors of him trying to reclassify to 2026. Whenever he reclassifies, it's probably coming with a commitment. It's probably coming with a commitment. Really quickly, let me see. I'm gonna bring up his highlight reels for you guys. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring up his highlight reels for you guys, really quick here, so you guys can take a look at who Alex Ward is. Breaking news right now that we have to cover here on the show, because this does absolutely have to do with Colorado and what we're able to do there. So we're going to pull up his highlights for you guys to take a look at his sophomore highlights. He is an athlete that plays offense and defense, or just offense. I mean, my guess is I believe from what I saw, his commitment was based on the defensive side of the ball, but would obviously love to play both ways. And what better place to do that in than, of course, Colorado. Okay, guys, I'm bringing up his tape real quick. You guys can take a look at that, and we will watch that while I talk to you guys a little bit more about Alex here. Let me switch stage. There we go, and add. Okay, guys, so this is Alex Ward, 6'1", 175, wide receiver DB, 2027 class. This is his sophomore tape, so this is last year. So he's most likely gone up in size. That is a nice pick. 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 That's not happening, Matthew. I mentioned earlier, by the way, why that's not happening to Florida State. Florida State burned their bridges with Coach Prime, and Coach Prime does not have a good relationship with Florida State and their organization. Okay. Running the route for him. Good point jump. Good way to get the ball defensively. Absolutely loving it. Here he is on offense. Look at how big he is. I'm glad he went to IMG. Another good IMG kid. Route runner. Let's see how the speed goes. Yep. Using those long legs. We know how that works. We know how that works. Yep. I mean, the kid is a good player, and he's only getting better at IMG. Okay, he's only getting IMG. I believe at Georgia he played corner, and then at IMG he's playing safety right now. And so safety is kind of his role. Okay. But he kind of plays in between. I mean, high school's hard, Northside. High school is very hard to gauge that. I'm just saying. Okay. Broke up that pass. That's not too far off there, Lamar. That's not too far off. Appreciate Lady C. Yeah, hit that like button, especially with this breaking news. If you're excited about breaking news here on the show live, hit that like button. Oh, he can return too. He can return. Got a little bit of pep in his step. Oh, is he gonna get caught or is he gonna go? If he goes, oh God. Okay, I was about to say that would have been ridiculous. Don't want to get caught there. Alex Ward. Oh, that block. Give his teammate a little bit of help there with the pancake block in the kickoff. Okay, so he does see himself as a little bit of a kickoff specialist here. A little bit of a specialist here. Yeah. Yep. I could see it. I mean, again, nobody's ever going to be Travis, but you have that speed. You can definitely make up for things going both ways. Punt return. Yeah. I mean, good vision, good speed, good returner. When we've got Quentin Gibson, so we don't necessarily need a returner, but just showing off his athleticism. Showing off his last athleticism. I want to see more of his enough of the kickoffs. There we go. Okay. Playing off the line. Can't tell if he's playing safety or corner there. Oh. Okay. I mean, really off the line. Let's see what he does here. Good break. Helps his teammate get the pick. Not necessarily, buddy, because this is literally what the reason why I'm bringing this up like this, just so you know, is because I literally said when we got Christian Ward to pay attention to Alex Ward's recruitment. Okay. I said to pay attention to Alex Ward's recruitment because he was offered Colorado. They're after him, and for him to decommit from Bama at this point says a lot. It says a lot. Okay. Obviously, he's not committed yet, but my point was this was step one in the process that I said we need to pay attention to. Okay. Any recruit, there is premature excitement associated with it. That's the whole point of college sports and looking at that. So the fact is, you still need to be prepared. You still need to understand what you're seeing and know that this is the next step and it's important. Can't have Mathis J. Phil, whoever the safety coach teaching our elite players. I know you guys don't like the position coaches at all. Yeah, I mean, so far, loving the tape. Again, this is like I said, this is the first step in the process. It's actually the second step. The first step was getting his brother to commit. Bringing in his brother, getting him to commit. Now you could potentially bring in his brother. I said that was probably their main target because if I'm being honest, Alex is the better player out of the two Ward brothers. Christian still very good, but Alex is definitely the better of the two, and he's younger. I mean, that's the crazy part. He's younger. So there's that aspect to it. So very, very important little bit of news that just broke. That is huge as Hayes Fawcett has put out that he is, come on. There we go. He is officially decommitted from Alabama. Very big news. Also, guys, I need to show you guys something just in case you hadn't seen it already, okay? You probably have, but we may have been leaked what the uniforms are for this Saturday, and I absolutely love them, okay? I absolutely love them. There it is, the uniforms for this weekend. We're going gold, baby. Colorado has a gold uniform. Martavius French leaking the shot of this week's uniform, the gold on black with black helmet. That is a first for CU. I went back into the archives and I could not find. The only time we ever wore a gold jersey was when we wore those ugly throwbacks with the silver helmet and silver pants. That was the only time I could find a gold uniform. I absolutely love this uniform. Okay. I love the black stripes. I love the black numbers, black pants, black helmet. I do wish we did black socks. I don't know if I love the white with it, or even, if you could get gold. I mean, that would be pretty sick to do black, gold. But that is going to be the uniform combo this weekend, it looks like. Kind of throwback vibes. Yes, absolutely, Mar. The funny thing is, Colorado really hasn't ever worn a throwback gold. Not in this century, not in the last century, it seems. But there's that. It looks like Northside, not a fan of the gold. Okay. That's where my mind went with those throwback gold jerseys. Yeah, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, here, I'll show you real quick. CU retro uniforms gold. I will show you what they looked like. So I guess we have there. Okay, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong, guys. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. It looks like now that I've searched for it, this uniform looks very similar to the one that we're wearing this weekend. Okay, but look, black socks. I love the black socks. But you got the stripes on the shoulder. You've got the black and white helmet, the gold jersey, the black pants. So it looks like we have worn that. When was the last time we did that? 1998, it looks like. Yeah, 1998. Look at these. Guys, so we have those. So this is a throwback. It's just literally, it was worn like once, is what it said in 1998. And a win over Baylor. Doesn't match the gold face mask. I want chrome, guys. I truly do want chrome. I truly do want chrome, guys. But, it'll look better on the players. Yeah, exactly. Just modernized. Yeah, this is it. This is it. I found it. Okay. And there's the white version of that jersey that was worn that same season, by the way, with the black stripes on it. Here's the jersey I was talking about, though, by the way. Look at these things. Look at these atrocities. Gold stripe on the pants, gold jersey, silver helmet with the horn. I do like the helmet, but the jersey in this situation was not good. But yeah, here it is. Here it is. There it is, guys. Colorado gold uniform from 1998 in the Big 12. I'm going to be tweeting this out, by the way. I'm going to be tweeting this out. The 1998 jersey is tough. I do like the gray stripe in the middle. Why couldn't we have done that? Ooh, with gray pants? Imagine what this one would look like with the gray pants. Okay, that's not bad. Larry, appreciate you dropping by. Thank you so much. Lamar does not like them. Lamar, which ones? The new ones or these ones I'm showing you right now? I don't know. I'm kind of fond of them. Absolutely. Interesting. That is going to be the uniform this week. Again, we've got, guys, we've got the hotline open. Nobody's called just yet. You could have a chance to win this Julian Lewis t-shirt right here. This is what you get sent. Guys, one of these shirts. You want to call in. No, the other gold is trash. I like that combo. It's different. I just changed my chat to live chat. Maybe why I'm missing some chats. So I did see the chat. Anyone calling you anything, including a worshiper. Is that a gray uniform, Russ? Which one? Which one are you talking about that I clicked on? But yeah, big news with, like I said, if you guys missed it, Alex Ward is officially back on the open market. Something to pay attention to. Absolutely. As we move forward, especially if he ends up reclassifying to 2026 with being at IMG, I don't see why he's not. I really don't. I don't see why he's not reclassifying. He'll be ready for college football next year. He absolutely will be ready for college football next year. So we are facing Utah's backup quarterback once again after facing Isaac Wilson and absolutely putting belt to ass last year. Belt. BTA. Guys, go back and watch the highlights of the Utah game last year. That was probably the biggest BTA that Colorado has had. I forgot how big it was last year and how bad we beat Utah last year facing Isaac Wilson. The defense dominated. The offense, that was the game that Travis Hunter, I think, really sealed the Heisman Trophy, by the way, was the Utah game. On the national stage, he had the catch over two DBs that was unbelievable. He had the running touchdown that they were going to be passing it, and he, just scrambled around in the red zone and found his way in the end zone. That was the Travis Hunter game. So there's that, guys. There's that. Well, yes, Jay, I know, but that was Oklahoma State. This is a little bit different. I mean, beating Utah in that sense, Utah was a much better team than Oklahoma State was. But yes, I was at that game, by the way, Jay. I know. I was at that game. Trav, Western, and Draylon got off versus Utah. Yes, they did. Draylon had his big touchdown that he broke like 3 tackles on the way to the end zone. Wester looked really good. Trav had a really good game. Shador had a really good game. The defense absolutely dominated in that game. And like I said, I think that was the game that truly solidified Trav as the Heisman favorite in that. I don't know. I feel like he could eventually join the staff. He's the perfect candidate to be a graduate assistant. If the NFL and, Canadian football isn't calling, why not come and be a GA and learn on this staff and figure it out with Coach Sapp and the other boys? I could see it. I absolutely could see it. 2 always lights out. Always lights out when it comes to that. I like the 1998 version and the current version. Hey, but that jersey would look good with gray. That jersey would look good with gray, with the gray outline on the numbers. Absolutely. Okay, guys. So let you guys know scheduling this week. Okay, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 9 o'clock Eastern. We will have the Buff Blitz as always. Okay, so make sure you're tuned into that as we will dive fully into the Utah game. Hopefully by then we know for sure if Dampier is out. It's looking like it's trending that way. My guess is we're not going to see Dampier on Saturday night. We'll see what the line is doing, of course. David will give you his Profit X picks for the week and whether or not he would take the CU game for Profit X. And we will talk and dive deep into that Utah matchup. Going to be very interesting. I'm going to watch some more Utah stuff. I watched a little bit of that BYU-Utah game this weekend, but going to dive in a lot more. Do you think they're a better team than last year? I do. But I think they're a better team than last year with Dampier at quarterback. With the freshman at quarterback, I'm not sure if I would 100% agree with that at this point. I do think they're still better than last year, okay? Because I think Isaac Wilson was just straight trash. So I think there's that. You think Dampier is going to play? I mean, everything is pointing to him not playing. And if he does play, Jay, supposedly the problem is that his running is going to be hampered severely from the injuries. I'm surprised French leaked that. Prime's not going to be happy about that. Robbie, a lot of people online are saying that. They're wondering if that's kind of his way of like sticking it to the team right now because he is not playing the way he should and not going to get the playing time that he should because he's just not doing well. Block Bully's not officially on staff, guys. Okay, he was at the game this past weekend. He was at practice today. Again, we can't speculate on that. It's got us in trouble in the past, but I would see Block Bully being a very, very good candidate to be a graduate assistant coach on this staff. And I think Coach Prime would probably do it to help him out. Absolutely. So I think that could happen. I really do. I really, really do think that could be a potential for this team, but nothing is confirmed yet on what he is doing. Okay. Yeah. See, yeah, I think it'd be great. I think he'd be great there. I think he'd be a great candidate for that GA. That's what GA positions are for. They're for guys who still aren't ready to go out into the world just yet to figure things out, get to coach, get a graduate degree while you're here, and get to see, what's going on. I think French just new to Prime system, nothing deep. I mean, that could be. He's going to be in trouble, though, for leaking that stuff. If Chidozie come back, D-line got no excuses. Hey, Chidozie's speech to the D-line and the rest of the team today was pretty fire. I mean, that guy got it. That is what we're missing on our defensive line right now is that true dog in the interior, okay? The outside's taken care of with Alex McPherson, London Merritt, and Arden Walker. The interior, you're struggling a bit. Interior. You're struggling a bit. Chidozie and Jaheim need to sit down and chop it up and talk about what he needs to do and what happens if you don't do what you need to do. Okay. That's probably what needs to happen if I'm being honest. Okay. That's what needs to happen. So, there's that, guys, there absolutely is that we need to, pay attention to with that. What else you guys got? I watched the BYU-Utah game. Boy, BYU looks like they may just go undefeated at this point, Lexus. And I know, guys, we have officially still the 9th rated hardest schedule in all of college football. So our record is not what I think it is to a lot of people out there. And I hope that recruits and other people realize that when they look at that and what it is, because we are playing some good teams. BYU having a great season. Delaware having a great season. Are we forgetting Georgia Tech, guys? Georgia Tech, right now, is looking like they are very well in the driver's seat to win the ACC. So, 7-point loss to Georgia Tech. BYU, close game as well. Really the only game that was not close that, was what it is the Houston game. But everything else has been close. And we finally pull out one of those close victories against Iowa State when they're ranked. So this team's starting to figure some things out. Cincinnati as well, north side. I know. The Big 12 is not. See, everybody wants to crap on the Big 12 that we're not the SEC, we're not the Big 10. I'm sorry, but right now, the Big 12 is one of the most competitive conferences in the country. And I love watching Big 12 football. I mean, the games are close, the games are exciting, the games are, fun to watch. You're not seeing blowouts happen. Yeah, the SEC and Big 10 have close games when it's the top teams playing each other. But like the rest of it, the bottom half of their league is like getting completely blown out from time to time. And it's just not the same each year. I can't believe that he's 10th in Heisman voting. I thought he'd be higher than that. I mean, there's that. Texas Tech not going. I'll book that. I think Texas Tech's overrated. I think BYU is better. I think, yeah, I don't think Texas Tech is. I think their record is a little bit misleading, just like CU's record is misleading in who we are. Absolutely. I would agree with that. Absolutely. Speak to the seniors, had to hit home for some of them. Absolutely. And Chidozie is a good example of what happens, guys. If you don't ball out enough, even if you think you ball out enough, that may not be good enough for the next level. You need to take advantage of every day that you get. And there's some guys, I think, on this team, especially when it comes to the seniors north side, which is what we talk about regularly. The people who are balling out on a regular basis are the freshmen and sophomores. The seniors are not living up to their title as senior, and they're running out of time. They are running out of time, guys. Absolutely running out of time. Tech should go get Houston's quarterback commit, throw a bag at him. He might dance. I mean, Texas Tech's going to throw a bag a lot of people next year to take that next step. Absolutely to take that next step. So there's that. Okay, guys, what do we got? Could be Gualo. I've been watching BYU this more than I ever have, and they keep finding a way to win. We'll see if they keep it up. BYU, they remind me of Georgia Tech a lot. Yeah, 7 Mile. Seniors are a big disappointment this year. They are not living up to their name at all across the board, which again is, the one good news, guys, is it gives me hope for what's going to happen next year. And it's also why I don't think we're going to have trouble in recruiting, no matter what the record is, guys, because of what's going to happen. Houston quarterback commit can't throw the ball. You know which game I watched this weekend, by the way, guys? And it makes me a little bit sad. But again, I not sad yet, because obviously Julian Lewis has not played yet. But I watched Cal play this past weekend. Dang, that freshman can sling it. You guys want to watch some good football, go check out Cal, guys. That quarterback can absolutely sling the ball. Live by the portal, die by the portal. Absolutely. Telling you right now, DJ better return. I think he will. He has to. I think he will. I think he gets one more chance at this. I think this year better be a wake-up call to DJ McKinney. And I hope that next year he comes back and is that much better. He goes in that offseason and really takes it seriously, because he realizes that he missed an opportunity when he was looked at as a first round going into the season. And now potentially, not even, like, he would be smart to come back to Colorado for one more year, really train this offseason, really work, hit up Prime, work one-on-one with him, do some more stuff. Yeah. Got to be the best freshman quarterback I've seen in a long time. You were talking about Bachmeier. What about the Cal quarterback? Cal freshman is the quarterback Pat wanted. Pat didn't want Juju. That's Prime's guy. Well, maybe he has it. Shout out Shiny King. Appreciate you dropping by. Thank you so much for watching the show. Need to stop talking back to when his coach tell him he's asking seniors to respond speaks volumes. They should dominate Utah having these 2 weeks. Absolutely, they should. I think everybody thinks that. Big Dog Chico tried to get the Cal freshman to come out here. I think a lot of people wanted him. I thought we were going to get him. That was what I thought our second choice was to Juju. When it wasn't looking like Juju was coming for a bit there, I thought that's who they were going to try and get. And then Cal went hard. Cal went hard on him from the get-go, and he stayed committed to Cal, which is also why I just don't see him leaving Cal. I mean, people are talking about how he's going to get a bag thrown at him from all these universities upcoming with how good he is. Yeah, he is. I mean, he is good. He is good. I loved what I saw. Don't love his throwing form, but he can rifle the ball in there. And he was, Guys, go watch the Cal game from this past weekend. He was balling. I mean, he was making throws within tight windows left and right. Like, that kid can ball, and he's only a freshman. Absolutely amazing. Only giving up 200 yards and 1 touchdown. DJ having an all right season. Need more breakups. Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's having a horrendous season, but he's not having a first rounder season. I think that's the key. And that's why I would love for him to come back, because I think if he gets right back on it, he could have a first rounder type of season, and that would probably help him more. He's not leaving Cal, has money, just got to put a better product around him. Yeah. I mean, probably needs to get more familiar with Polynesian West Coast players. Yeah, they're good players in the South, but there's some ballers out West. And Don Juan, that's why he brought in Pecco. I'll be honest. That's why he brought in Pecco, to have that West Coast connection. And Pecco, by the way, on bye week was out in California recruiting. Just an FYI, he was. He was out in California recruiting. Cal quarterback didn't have too many D1 offers. He only had CU, Cal, and some other team. Yeah, I mean, we knew what we were looking at. So, I mean, the talent evaluation's there. That's why I'm not down on it, guys, because I do think Juju's going to pan out. But if for some reason Juju doesn't, for some reason, then maybe we gotta talk about something there, because that is a big miss by this team not bringing in that kid. And it's crazy that he's starting as a freshman and looking so good, guys. If he comes back, team goes 8-4, maybe 9-3 at least, 3 to 4 picks, then late first minute. Yeah, well, I think that'd be good. He went to Oregon first. Okay, guys. Well, I'm gonna call it for now. Today's stream. Again, we're gonna be back on Wednesday this week. So if you guys want, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Mountain Time with David for the Buffs Blitz. And then we'll do Friday pregame show for Utah, and then a postgame show Saturday night late, no matter how late it is, guys. So make sure you're there, win or lose. I want to hear what you guys have to say in that postgame. Hey, make sure you guys like the channel as you guys go out, please, please, please. It is, you don't understand how massive that is. I know not a lot of you can support the channel monetarily, and that's okay. I don't need your money. I don't want your money. I appreciate it when it comes. I really do. I appreciate all the members of this channel, by the way. Really, really do. I appreciate all these members of the channel. You guys have been awesome. Huge shout out to the members, by the way. Northside, Brian C., Keith, D Nice, and of course, David Talks Buffs is a member of the channel and have been. Appreciate you guys so very much. Appreciate all the new subscribers today. Hit that like on your way out. Until next time, appreciate you guys. You guys have a good one as well. I will talk to you guys later on. Make sure you follow me over on Twitter as well if you guys want to get the latest. Thank you after the game. I always appreciate here. I appreciate everybody. Like I said, I love differing opinions. You're always going to have a chance to voice your opinion over here. So until next time, for Buffs News Weekly Live, I'm Russ. Sco Buffs.